What is the best ebook creator in 2020? Well, I'm going to be talking about that in today's video, so stay tuned. Hey, I'm Dale L. Roberts, a best-selling author as well as self-publishing advocate who wants to show you how to publish books that sell. And if you would like that too, make sure you hit the subscribe and turn the bell notifications on so you don't miss a single one of these videos. Why should authors, entrepreneurs, and business owners have an ebook anyway? Well, this really helps out in building and aiding an authority and credibility in your given area. So having an ebook is definitely a great way to not only have this really cool little business card, if you will, but it's also just a way of silently saying to whoever you give this to that, hey, I'm a pretty big deal. But writing the content versus creating something that's visually appealing are two different things. Yeah, you can go ahead and write the content, and I've talked a lot about that here on this channel. For the sake of brevity, we're just going to focus on creating something that's visually appealing. And of course, that comes by way of using an ebook creator software program of some sort. But the options are absolutely overwhelming, and I thought I would just go ahead and make it super simple for you because I'm going to give you 10 software programs you need to make some pretty good ebooks, if not some stellar ones. And stick around to the end because I'm actually going to give you the entire list really simple. It's all going to be kind of curated, put together, and you can just go ahead instead of having to take notes as we go along. Before we do jump into things, I think it's important that we address what are the best formats to format your ebook in. Now, there are 3 different kind of gold standards of ebook publishing, and there's one additional one. Let's take it one at a time with PDF, which is a portable document format. This is probably the most universal, so whether you're publishing it on a platform, say like Amazon, or you're fulfilling it through, say, an email list of some sort, the PDF is one of the easiest ways to read things because you can read it on your desktop, laptop, mobile device, and so on. Then you have EPUB, which is really actually the gold standard. This is the one that's utilized the most across the most publishing platforms out there today and quite a bit of the reading devices. If, for instance, you have an Apple iPhone, it reads EPUB. And then there's Mobi, which is also short for Mobi Pocket Reader. This is Kindle. Now, you've heard of Kindle before. So Mobi is the Kindle readable format. Now, does that mean that you cannot use EPUB when it goes to Kindle? Well, that's another story for another day, but all that to say this, that at least those 3 formats you can utilize in just about every capacity. Now, there's one additional one. It's optional. And the reason why I say it's optional is because if you have this in this particular format, you can get it converted over into any of the 3 that I originally mentioned of PDF, EPUB, or Mobi. And that is Doc or DocX, which is essentially like Microsoft Word's version of a document or a manuscript. Now, as I put together this list, I really tried to think about choosing the software that would best work for you. So I analyzed a few different points, which includes cost. Is it going to be free or is it premium? So is this going to cost you anything or not? That's very important, right? So think about what you can afford. I want you to remember this, that even though some of them say they are free, you're going to have to pay now or you're going to have to pay later. Either way, you're going to have to pay, John C. Maxwell once said. So I'm going to say this, that you're going to have to either grind it out and try to find your way, and you're investing in sweat equity and time, or you're going to have to pony up the expenses and get some premium software that takes a lot of the guesswork out of it for you and gets it to where it makes it easy. The next thing to consider is the user experience level between beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Now, most of the options I've went through are pretty much beginner centered. So you can always start on any one of these, but there is probably one specific one that has a steep learning curve. I'll let you know about that once when we get to it. And lastly, the operating system. Is it used on PC or Mac? Now, some of these do have some mobile choices, but for the sake of conversation here, we're just going to focus on PC or Mac. Sorry, Linux users. Number 1, Google Docs. This is a free option that's available. If you have a Gmail account, then you can have access to Google Docs. And I'll tell you, there are a number of successful self-publishers and authors who have used Google Docs and don't even see themselves moving over to premium options. This is good for PC and Mac, and it formats in PDF, EPUB, and DocX. The advantages include it's a cloud-based backup, so in the event that you're starting to type away and your computer dies for some reason, it's all backed up in the cloud. Trust me, this has happened to me. I had a laptop die on me midway through a manuscript, and guess what? The hard drive was completely unsalvageable, and I was out of a manuscript. Now, the disadvantages of Google Docs includes it's just a bit clunky at times. Now, this is a personal thing. I just kind of find it a little bit off, and especially if you really want to make something look just really amazing. Number 2, Pages. Now, this is a Mac-only program. And it doesn't necessarily cost anything to have, because if you have whether an iMac or you have a MacBook Pro or even an iPhone, it automatically comes with Pages. It formats in PDF, EPUB, and crazy thing, DocX. I know, right? A Microsoft product, it actually formats it for that, and I've actually tried that out. I've formatted it through Pages, taken it over to Microsoft Word as the DocX, and it pulls up just fine. The advantages include, well, pretty much what I just said. Mac makes it work. They want you to make sure that if you're investing in their products, you don't need to go elsewhere to make anything else. So this is one of the nice things. But the disadvantages includes, come on, let's just say it, Mac can be expensive. Apple, come on, like ease up a little bit. I mean, can you at least cut down on that retail cost just a little bit? Number 3, Microsoft Word. Now, this by far is probably the best entry-level product in my opinion. This is something I actually got started on. And the nice thing is if you actually have a PC that you purchased and you got Microsoft installed into that, sometimes they actually will give you Office included with that. So those of you that don't have it, so for instance, when I originally got Microsoft Office, I picked up a program called Microsoft Office 365, which is a yearly membership, and you're able to get the full Office suite, and that includes Microsoft Word. That ran me about $100 per year, but they have other perks included in with it. But all that to say that's how I personally have used it. It is available for both PC and Mac. A lot of Mac users think they can't use a Microsoft program. Microsoft made sure that they actually had something that was compatible with Mac, and actually I've used it quite a bit over on my MacBook Pro. It formats in PDF and DocX. The advantages include it's widely used and trusted. And here's the beauty of it. If for some reason you have some questions and you're stuck on something as far as formatting goes, you're only a Google or YouTube search away from a video that's going to show you exactly how to do what you need to do to get it done. The disadvantages includes it only formats in PDF and DocX. Now, that might not be a disadvantage. So for instance, if you're just a business owner that's wanting to get more clients to come into your business, maybe offering a PDF through your website is probably the best solution. So you don't need to be investing a ton of money into this. Number 4, Draft Digital. Now this one's an interesting one. This is actually a publishing platform, and Draft Digital is not paying me to say this. I'm actually a fanboy of their interior formatting software. Now, to be very clear on this one, it is unlike all the other ones on this list. It is not a word processor. In other words, you're not going to be able to go into their interior formatting software and make corrections in there. Most of all the other ones I'm going to mention on this list, you can do that. You essentially have to come in there with one of your documents and you can upload it to there. And they have dozens of templates that you're able to format your book into 3 different types. And this is PDF, EPUB, and MOBI. So they do all 3 formats. And I gotta say that if you just need a very simple but good looking interior, Draft Digital really does the work for you. And here's my favorite part, it is free and you can use it on any operating system as long as you got internet connection and you can connect over to draftdigital.com. You can pretty much use their formatting software. The advantage is it's free. I mean, come on, you can't beat that with a stick. But the disadvantages is there's really no word processing. You can't go in and make any kind of corrections. You need to go back to wherever you created your document and then upload it over to Drafted Digital. And it takes a little bit of trial and error. Maybe you might see some layout and you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted. But you pretty much get what you pay for. But I have to say that this is probably my most favorite as far as just dead simple way. So if you're kind of like a newbie when it comes to any of this, Drafted Digital might be the solution for you, and it is free. Number 5, Kindle Create. Okay, so this is Amazon's free software, and it actually is their way of getting you to publish on Kindle Direct Publishing. So if you're watching this one and you're kind of going, oh, I'd love to use Kindle Create, that sounds like an awesome option, but I really don't want to use KDP. Well, this may not be for you. This is available for any operating system, PC and Mac, but here's the catch. It formats in 2 file types I didn't even mention. It's KPB and KPF, which means that these files are only going to be readable on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. The advantages include it's free software, and they actually have, quite a few tutorials online when it comes to Kindle Create. The disadvantages, well, you're stuck to KDP. So if you really want to use Kindle Create, do it for the fact that it's going to distribute to only Kindle Direct Publishing. Number 6. Now, originally back in, I wrote an article for Thinkific some time ago where I talked about Calibre being in here. I'm actually crossing this one off the list. No offense, Calibre, but they're primarily an ebook management system that's good for, document conversion and not necessarily for word processing or anything else like that. So it is free. If you want to look up Calibre, you can always do that. I'm actually going to go ahead and put in its place something I just recently discovered in a program called Kotobee. That's Kotobee. And they actually are the most robust premium software on this list by far, with more features than I can even share inside this whole video here. And it runs about $150 for lifetime licensing. It's available for PC and Mac, and it formats in every type imaginable. And when I say every type, I mean some of them I've never even heard of, and it's just absolutely insane. And I went into this and it's just crazy, all of the features that they have. But when it comes to the advantages, everything you can imagine. Yeah, it says if you can think it, you can create it through Kotobee. The disadvantages can be this: if you're the type of person that's overwhelmed by options, this might kind of scare you a little bit at first, but I promise you that if you play around with it a little bit, you'll find that there's not a steep learning curve on this. You'll kind of get the hang of it, and the beauty of it is they've got a wonderful support team, so if you've got any kind of questions, you get a hold of them, they'll answer you right away. Number 7, Vellum. Okay, this is one of 3 programs I heard through a friend of mine, Michael Aran of Author Level Up on YouTube. Vellum is a Mac-only program, and this is premium, and it runs about $200 for lifetime access. The beauty of it is, at such a higher premium, Vellum understands that, maybe people don't want to invest in it without trying it out first. Well, they've got you covered. What you can do is you can actually download the program, test it out, play around with it, and if you want to get it to where it converts it to your specific file, then that's going to be for you. And you'd have to go ahead and pay the premium, and then you'll get the formatted document. It formats both in EPUB and MOBI, so that's a win and a win. The advantages include it's got clean layouts, and it's just dead simple. But the disadvantages, it's Mac only. So if you don't have Mac, then Vellum's not for you. Now I know there are some workarounds. You're gonna have some nerd that's gonna go, oh, well, you can get a cloud-based Mac thing for your PC. Well, there is that too, but let's keep things simple here, folks. Number 8, Ulysses. Okay, so these next 2 ones are also some of the ones that Michael Aran had learned through Author Level Up. And Ulysses is a premium Mac exclusive program. And this is a little different than, say, something like Vellum, because there actually is a subscription that you pay. It's pretty reasonable, about $40 per year. And it formats in PDF, EPUB, and DocX. The advantages include it's got a cheap subscription cost. And I mean, when you want to not spend a lot of money and you don't really want the lifetime access, then Ulysses might be the solution for you. And the beauty of it is you can just say subscribe for 1 month, try it out, and you're like, this is not my thing. Well, then you're only out a few bucks. And then you can just opt out when you want. The disadvantages, Mac only. You're starting to kind of just see like a pattern here. Number 9, Scrivener. This is the go-to premium app for writers. Now, I've personally never used Scrivener. I've never really been tempted, but I hear a lot of successful authors that have just swore by this one. And it runs right about $45 to $50 for the lifetime access, which is pretty reasonable. And it's available for PC and Mac. And the formats it does it in is PDF, EPUB, and Mobi, all 3 of those gold standards that I've talked about. The advantages of this one is it's organized in a distraction-free work environment. That's really what they kind of like leverage. You know, they talk about your distraction-free work environment where you're using this. Now, I'm not sure I'm ever feeling distracted if I'm ever using Google Docs. I just go and I write. But if you're the type of person that kind of gets distracted easily, then maybe Scrivener's for you. I don't know. I've yet to use it myself. I'd love to hear somebody who actually has used Scrivener and your experience with it. And they actually kind of carry notes throughout. So for instance, you want to put some notes in a book that you're writing, but you don't want to have it inside the manuscript, then Scrivener does that for you. The disadvantages include the fact that it's got a lot of features. Again, overwhelmed. So if you find that having a ton of features at first will overwhelm you, then it will. For me, not so much. Sometimes I see a lot of toys and features. I'm ready to play. Number 10, Adobe InDesign. This is the granddaddy of them all. Like, this is the most advanced method. And it is a subscription-based service, obviously, with Adobe, and it runs right about $20 to $30 per month. If you get it on a deal, it might be cheaper than that. If you get it in like a package deal, like say, for instance, with Photoshop or Lightroom or anything else like that, it might be cheaper. This can actually be used through PC and Mac, and it will format in PDF and EPUB. Now, to be clear, Adobe InDesign is typically for someone that is into, say, graphic design or doing, interior design for ebooks or print books on a regular basis. So there are more features than you would even know what to do with, and some of them you'll probably end up getting confused. So the advantages of this one is it's Adobe. If you want an answer, all you got to do is just Google or YouTube that up and you'll be able to find your answer. But the disadvantages, it is by far the greatest learning curve of all. Don't expect to pick up Adobe InDesign and master it over the next week. Ain't gonna happen. That's gonna be something that takes years and years to actually do. And if you get a mentorship, maybe if you learn from somebody like who's experienced in this, you'll be able to pick it up pretty quick. But for the most part, this is not something you're gonna be able to do solo on your own. Hey, I told you if you stuck around to the end, I'd give you the full list of these 10 ebook creators. If you actually head on over, there's a link inside the description below where I actually did a full article on the Thinkific blog. So big shout out to the folks over at Thinkific. And hey, while I have your attention here, I talked briefly about Kindle Direct Publishing. Believe it or not, my most popular video, I talk about that platform further in depth where you can actually publish your ebook. So I'll see you in this very next video. If you just click on that one down there, I'll meet you there. Make it worth your while.